Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now here on a Thursday. We're jumping into some pretty crazy news and rumors. There's draft visits, there's draft trades, there's Jalen Reagor trades, all that coming up here in just 1 second. First, though, mailbag video happening tomorrow. So now's your chance. Go down below, hashtag Eagles, ask any sort of Eagle-related question that you possibly could want. And if you're a subscriber and that's a good question, gotta be subscribed, I'll go ahead and most likely pull it to go and be featured in tomorrow's mailbag video. So go down below and ask a question right now. I ship the latest Eagles news and rumors. This is not necessarily breaking news, but it is news we have not covered yet here in terms of a video, and that is the fact that there is a new report that has surfaced saying that teams are calling the Eagles about wide receiver Jalen Reagor. Now, this was met with a barrage of cheers from Twitter because Eagle fans on Twitter obviously hate Jalen Reagor. Eagle fans in general hate Jalen Reagor, and so, oh my gosh, they could finally trade him and get rid of him, and it's like, wait a second. Hold on. As I'll show you, it's not necessarily a good thing for the Philadelphia Eagles, nor do I actually think the Eagles are going to go ahead and actually get rid of Jalen Reagor. One, he's entering the third season in Philadelphia, third year of his rookie contract, so he still is very cheap. And two, if you were to trade him, what kind of draft capital are you actually going to go ahead and get in return? That's what I want to look at here. I just don't think you're going to get anything special. And if you're of the mindset, oh, just get rid of him because he stinks anyway, it just doesn't make sense from a financial standpoint to give up on somebody who is only 3 years removed from your first-round draft pick. Maybe this is the year, maybe it's not. I'm not defending Jalen Reagor. I'm just saying there is plenty of time for him to still turn into be a decent contributor on the offensive side of the football. So a trade, not sure about it. Here was Jeff Mosher, I think, who covers Philadelphia. He has the initial breaking news in this tweet, quote, "The teams will be interested in acquiring Reagor. Sources have told Inside the Birds that teams have already called to check on the third-year receiver's availability." So they're at least calling and saying, hey, Howie, is he available? Is he? And we don't know. Are the Eagles saying yes or no? That's the real question. Again, I'm not defending Jalen Reagor. Reagor's been terrible. He's been one of the worst first-round draft picks Howie has had since Marcus Smith, right? Let's just be honest about this. And for whatever reason, Howie Roseman, past two receivers he's taken before Devontae Smith, they're the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Jalen Reagor in the first two rounds have been absolutely terrible. There is no excuse for the fact that he has been bad. But let's just be real here. Philadelphia isn't trading Jalen Reagor because they're not going to get anything good for Jalen Reagor. At best, right now, a team would give Philadelphia a 6th-round draft pick, a 7th-round draft pick. I mean, nothing. You're getting pennies on the dollar. And you're not necessarily getting a ton of cap relief either because you're getting a little dead cap hit with the trade. So it's not really a team-friendly, team-smart thing to actually do. And again, I'm not saying I want to keep Reagor. I think Reagor is going to continue to slide down the depth chart. But maybe, just maybe, year 3 is going to go ahead and be his year. And that's the hope that everyone has in Philadelphia. Plus, right now, Philadelphia's wide receiver depth chart doesn't have a number 2 wide receiver. I mean, I think Watkins and Reagor are both 3s. Now, they'll add somebody in the draft. I'm almost sure of that. But keeping Reagor along in that mix might, eventually let him kind of shine and become a good player. So they're not going to trade him. Let's just be very, very clear about that. If they were to, it'd be in a package deal and not just Reagor straight up, which we'll talk about here in just a second. First, answer the comment down below. Would you trade Reagor for a 6th-round draft pick? Like, do you want to get rid of him that bad? If you do, type 1 below for yes. If you do not, go ahead and type N down below for no. Now, speaking of putting Reagor in like a package deal, which I guess technically could happen during the NFL draft, Peter Schrager from the NFL Network, who is a noted, I don't know if he's an Eagle fan, but at least is, respects Philadelphia, he was on Twitter creating some very interesting hypothetical trades. Look at this tweet right now. Quote, "Trade talk. If you're the Houston Texans, the 3rd overall pick, would you accept an offer of 15, 18, and Jalen Reagor for the 3rd? If you're the Philadelphia Eagles, would you trade the 15th, 18th, and Jalen Reagor for the 3rd overall?" Now, that's obviously not necessarily fact when saying that it's actually going to happen. It's just kind of an idea. Look at this mock trade, though. Think about this. Would you do this if you were Philadelphia? Like 15, 18, and Jalen Reagor for number 3 overall. I mean, would the Texans take it? Maybe you get additional first-round draft picks plus a wide receiver who maybe eventually could play at the first-round level, even though very unlikely. My problem with this is, like, why do you need to go up that far? Like, is there a player that you just absolutely cannot pass and cannot miss in this draft that instantly makes your team way better than 2 first-round draft picks at 15 and 18? I've said from the very, very start, the more first-round draft picks you have to spend, the better. Now, that doesn't guarantee that the 2 guys you're going to take, or at 1.3 guys you were going to take, are going to turn out to be starters, but at least gives you a higher probability that they're going to be really, really good players. Now, again, if you love somebody at number 3, maybe this trade actually works out, but I'm fine with just staying put. I mean, just stay put at 15, stay put at 18, take the best player available at positions of need, corner, wide receiver, defensive end, linebacker, and boom. Like, you can upgrade this team very, very quickly. Now, here are some targets if you did want to move up to 3. These are the guys I think Philadelphia would have in mind. Hutchinson, would he be there at 3? Probably not, but I mean, I guess there's a possibility if you think he's like the best pass rusher to come out of the draft in a long time. Thibodeaux for sure at 3. Gardner, it's interesting because Ahmad Gardner's mocked to the Detroit Lions at number 2 in a very recent, I think it was an ESPN mock draft, so he's going to go pretty high. Throw in Travon Walker is going to be a top 8 pick, according to everything I've heard. There are some options there to trade up to number 3. Again, just a hypothetical thing. Just want to show you guys what it would look like if you want to trade up to number 3 overall. And Peter Schrager makes a good point. Is this something you'd want to do if you were the Eagles or the Texans? It remains to be seen. But for me right now, I'm fine with staying put at where we're at. Grade this trade for the Eagles. A, B, C, D, or F. Give me a grade on this trade. I'm at like a B-. I just don't think Philadelphia needs to do it. It's not a necessity. It's not a quarterback you're going up to get, right? If it's Bryce Young next year, it'd make more sense. So I'm out on this trade, but give me your grade down below. Okay, before we get into Miles Sanders' comments and some pre-draft wide receiver visits, sure to subscribe to our main Chat Sports channel for live all 3 days, or live draft coverage all 3 days. We are live on our main Chat Sports channel, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Link will be down below in the description box as well. And all of us here at Chat Sports contribute. Now, it's interesting in terms of how we do it versus ESPN. ESPN is very technical. It's like, here's this guy, here's what he does. We're like, hey, here's who your team picked. Let's have some fun while we do it and just hang out on YouTube with us. It's a really fun overall draft coverage. I will be a part of it in some capacity in terms of making videos for the Eagles channel and making sure that you guys are up to date on what I think about Philadelphia's hopefully multiple draft picks in the first round. So subscribe to our main channel for some really good coverage regarding the NFL draft. I quickly throw out the Miles Sanders quote here. I like this. Miles Sanders was talking to Pro Football Network. We haven't heard from him a lot, and he had a very interesting year last year, as we'll see. He seems very motivated. I love this quote. Listen to this. I've still got a lot to prove. A lot of people don't respect all the work I've done. I've still got a lot to prove. I'm taking it real personal this year. Just find a way to get noticed and command the respect. I'm not taking no for an answer this year. Just stay healthy. Just be available. That's my main goal this year. I want to be the best. That's what I train to be. I want to be the best, period. I exhaust myself working hard to try to get to that point. I'm taking it a little more personal this year, end quote. Sanders, when asked about, listen, last year was interesting. You go up to Miles Sanders' numbers and you go, okay, 754 yards. He did miss 5 games. He would have been a 1,000-yard rusher. 0 touchdowns, though, which is insane. Like, when have you ever had a guy averaging 5.5 yards per carry and getting no touchdowns? He is in a contract year, too, final year of his rookie deal. So the Philadelphia Eagles must decide if they want to pay him and just let him go, draft somebody in the later rounds to replace him. This is a make-or-break-it year for Miles Sanders, and he seems motivated. Now, the problem is health, right? I mean, that's been his real issue. It's not just necessarily, play on the field, because he's been great when they give him the football. It's health. If he's not healthy, then obviously inserts Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, maybe somebody else they draft, and so it's going to be a very interesting year for Sanders, but I love the fact that he seems motivated, he seems hungry, and honestly, if he gets to his full potential, he's a top 10 back, top 5 back in the NFL. Type 26 down below to show Miles Sanders some love. I know he's had a rough past 2 years with the injuries. I'm a big Miles Sanders fan. I think he's fantastic. Type 26 down below to show some love. Quickly here, as we end, Jameson Williams was at the NovaCare Complex just a couple of days ago visiting Philadelphia, as he is one of the considered top wide receivers in the NFL draft. Some people think he's going to go inside the top 10, according to an article that I read a couple of days ago. I don't see that, but for sure in the first round. And so Philadelphia, doing their due diligence on wide receivers, they had Jameson Williams into the NovaCare Complex to meet with presumably Sirianni, wide receivers coach, Howie Roseman, just as they do with the rest of their 30 pre-draft visits they have up and coming, as the NFL draft is exactly 2 weeks away. Today, they are visiting with Chris Olave, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, and seemingly a fan favorite and a mock draft favorite in terms of becoming a Philadelphia Eagles. He is in there today, and again, further implements the idea that Philadelphia will take one of these wide receivers, whether it's Williams, whether it's Olave, whether it's Drake, whether it's Burks, or somebody in the first round to hopefully pair with Devontae Smith and create a very young, very efficient, very excellent pass-catching duo. I will end on this. Pick one, Williams or Olave. Who would you rather have? This, I think, would be an interesting debate down below to see where we are leaning in terms of the fan base. W down below for Williams or O down below for Olave. I'm a little more on Olave versus Williams. That's just me, but I'm curious where you guys are at. All right, ultimately today on our Philadelphia Eagles news and rumor video here. Mailbag video coming up tomorrow, so be sure to go down below, #Eagles, ask any sort of Eagle-related question that you want. Be a subscriber, too. That's the key factor, and we'll, of course, get that video for you guys tomorrow. For Philadelphia Eagles now, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off to the rest of your day.